Hey guys, welcome to my first Get Ready With Me. I'm going to start by moisturizing my lips with my EOS Balm, and then I'm going to prime my face with the Too Faced Hangover RX, which is one of my favorites, and it smells delicious. Then I'm going in with my MAC's Painterly Paint Pot to prime my eyelids, just using my finger and this Urban Decay brush that I had just to kind of blend everything evenly all over the eyelids. And I'm going in with Anastasia's Mia Mia palette. I'm taking the warm taupe shade first with a Sigma E35 brush, I believe. And I'm going to take that above my crease a little bit, focus it more to be a transition shade so that when I do the rest of the looks, it kind of all has a base to blend into. Then I'm going in with the color Caramel, Tomato, and I'm taking that into my crease, a little bit on the outer corners as well, and blending that up into the transition shade. I'm also going to take that a little bit into the inner corner as well, and then I'm going to make sure to blend, and blend a little bit more, and then blend a little bit more, and then I'm going in with the dark brown shade in the Mia Mia palette, and I'm going to push that a little bit more into the crease because the lid color we're going to be using later is a type of brown, so I'm going to put this brown just to kind of help it ease its way into transitioning and not make it any harsh lines. Then taking my favorite primer spray, which is the Scandinavia Makeup Primer Spray. Works amazing. Then I'm going to go in with Anastasia's Brow Wiz in Soft Brown. I do love this brow pencil. I'm just not too sure about the color. I've been using it for a while, but I've noticed way more now that, like more in my pictures and videos and stuff, that it does have a reddish undertone, and I'm just not too sure how I feel about that. I think it may be just a little bit too red for me, so but I'm working with what I got right now. And then I'm going to brush it out and do the other one. I do apologize, you can see my face. Last week I broke out in the gnarliest rash I have ever had in my entire life, and it's calming down a little bit, but I decided to make this video anyways, just to get one up. I'm going in with the Born This Way Too Faced foundation. I am loving this foundation. I'm using the Beauty Blender to blend it all out, but I do find that my favorite way to use this foundation is with a brush. It is with one of my Real Techniques or a Sigma brush that I have, just because I feel like it kind of buffs everything a little bit better, and I liked the coverage a little bit more. Then I'm going in with my MAC's Pro Longwear Concealer. I'm just cleaning up the under eye, bringing it down a little bit. I am not going in with a heavy under eye just because I do want this to be kind of a softer kind of daytime look, just because I didn't want to irritate my face any more than it already was or make it worse. So I'm just going to still put enough to kind of brighten the face and, you know, clean it up underneath, make me look a little bit more awake. I'm going to take some as well to the middle of the forehead, see if it can conceal a little bit more redness. And then I did put a little bit down the bridge of my nose as well. Then I'm going in with a Beauty Blender to make sure that it's all evenly blended out and patted in. I'm going in tapping, patting motions, just to make sure it kind of buffs in and looks natural, smooth, not too heavy. Then I'm going in with the Paris palette from Sigma. I know this is years old, and I'm guilty of still using this because I still love it and they still work great. And I don't have any other eyeshadows the colors of this one because I don't like to buy a lot when I know that I already have the color. So I took Triumph as my lid color. It is a beautiful dually chromy. It's like brown, but it's got specks of like a teal, blue, greenish. So I'm taking that all over the lid, and then I'm just taking the brush we used before. This one's a collector MAC blending brush, but I'm just using that to blend it in with the transition and the dark brown shadow that we had put in the crease before, just to make sure everything's nice and blended. Blend, blend, blend. And then I'm taking another shade from that palette. It is the Orsay, this one right there, and I'm taking it just with my finger because I'm just going to go ahead and dab it in the center of my lid. I decided to go with this because since the brown had kind of undertones of like a dual chromey undertone with bluish tealy, I decided that to give it a pop of color would look nice. Then I'm going in with the Benefit brow tint and light medium. Then I'm going to shade underneath the waterline as well, just to kind of close it all together. My camera stopped recording and I ended up doing my liquid liner off camera, but I did that with my NYC liquid liner, which is my favorite. And then I'm taking my Laura Mercier translucent powder to set the under eye, which I probably should have done right after, but I forgot. And I'm using the Beauty Blender with this, just putting that to set the under eyes, and then where I tend to get oily, which is in my T-zone. Then I'm going to go ahead and brush that off with my Real Technique brush. Then my favorite part, I'm going in with the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara. I did just start using this mascara. I do really like it. I really like the brush. I think the brush is great, especially for the bottom lashes. I do, though, feel like I need to put more than one coat all the time or use another mascara with it, just because I really do like big, bold lashes. And which I did end up doing after. Then I'm going in with the Hoola bronzer, the beautiful Hoola bronzer from Benefit. And then I am obviously just contouring the hollows of my cheeks. I'm not going for anything super heavy, although on this side of the face it does look a little bit heavier. I'm just going for kind of a natural bronzed up defined face, I could say. Going into the temples, making sure it blends into my hairline, and I will take it underneath my jawline as well. Here I'm going on the other side. You can tell here it looks a little lighter, just the lighting on this side was a little brighter, I guess. But I'm doing the same here. I'm taking from the tops of my ears down, blending it. I'm just making sure here it looks even though on camera it doesn't. I promise in person it did. And on my mirror. And I'm taking it underneath my jawline just to get rid of, that double chin that I got there. Then I'm going in with the NARS Luster Blush. This blush is more of a apricot bronzy-ish color. I do really like it, and I chose to use this just because it was more of settling, more of a natural look again, because the eyes are already pretty boldy, but I wanted to make it where it wasn't so heavy because I was wearing this for daytime. So then I'm just going in with another brush to kind of define it more, and then I'm going in with my Real Techniques dual fiber brush just to make sure everything's nice and blended. And I'm going in with Champagne Pop. It is my first time wearing this. I'm taking an e.l.f. brush. I do really like the highlighter. I do think that the e.l.f. brush was probably not the best for it. It is super pigmented, so I feel like my Sigma tapered highlighting brush would have probably been a better idea. I'm also taking that on the tip of my nose and again on the tops of my cheekbones. I'm going underneath the brow just to highlight the brow a little bit. Make sure everything's nice and champagne poppy. A little bit on the Cupid's bow, brighten everything up. And now, pulling down the hair. Getting ready for the lippy, and I'm going in with my favorite Kat Von D studded lipstick color in Lovecraft. It's kind of a muted pink. If you guys don't want a pop of a color so much like this, I would opt for a nude color or even a sheen gloss, kind of like a nude gloss. I thought that might look really nice too. Then I'm going in to finish up with my Skindinavia makeup finishing spray, which is my holy grail. And that is my finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.